everybody, my name is Ryan and I am the King of Booty Fab, and today we had a pretty major change of plans and our entire week got thrown into turmoil. So we're working on a different project than I expected, but yeah, we're gonna get started on this. We get a video up this week. Excited to get moving on this one. This one's gonna be a ton of fun. They're all a ton of fun. I love my job. But I'll tell you what, you guys like the video when this is over, like it, share it around, drop me a comment down below, give me some feedback. If you enjoy the channel and you want to keep up on this project and all my other projects, all the stuff I got coming up, follow the channel, click the alert bell. If you're on mobile, click the hype button just because it helps me out and it costs you guys absolutely nothing. But today, let's get at this 54 Chevy GMC. 54-ish. Chevy-ish. Yeah. Let's get at it. So we got the frame within half a degree of level, and it's level side to side, and this pad is great because this pad is perfectly level. There's no drainage slope on this, just so we can do things like this. This cab was quite obviously way off, had a 4x4 jammed in there. It's still crooked. So the first order of business is going to be to get this cab sitting level side to side, level front to rear. I'm going to knock off these body mounts that are on there. They're just kind of tacked up, it looks like. Yeah. There's some channel going on in here. So kind of goodness under here, but it's pretty unmolested, so shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I think I'll get those mounts off, get those cross members out of there, drop this cab down as low as we can get it.
How's that battery down there?
Oh, well, this is we got in the front door. It's not that they're horrible mounts, just not quite how we would have built them, and we got a press brake and a plasma so we can make them way cooler. Plus they needed holes anyways. And I'm not quite sure how they were meant to line up, because there's kind of factory mount back there and a bushing with a bolt front to rear, and there's a hole up front but it didn't seem to line up, and yeah, so mounts are off. I'm just going to spend some time with the jack, square this frame to the body, because the body's sitting good, it's sitting level. It's easier to move the frame at this point than to shuffle that and just jack up the pumpkin and wiggle it around. Double, triple, quadruple check the fender opening to this front tire. That'll give me my front to rear. As soon as that's done, we can make some body mount. Start at the front, because these just have a through hole. Yeah, right there. So that's the body mount there. I'll get that located, which will let us do the rear. Yeah, it'll work out. Be pretty cool. So, I think the new mask might make a better welder. Not horrible. Whipped up some body mounts. We just bent them in the press brake, but I didn't feel like messing with the dies. So just put a bend slot there, finish welding them in a minute. I got these off Temu. They're from Yes Welder. Buy them on Amazon and stuff, but on Temu with a coupon, I think these were 12 bucks Canadian, which is what, about $3 American at this point. And they come with a little mask that clips on, and I was wanting a set for working under chassis, exhausts, where helmets just get wedged and I end up doing it blind, and everybody's telling me to wear glasses and safety glasses and stuff, and they're auto dark. I'm making an attempt. Next up is to find some really decent safety glasses that don't look horrible and I'm comfortable with, so that I can wear them more, because, yeah. There we go. Anyway, body mounts. This is coming quick. Okay, so I've got the cab centered side to side in the front. It's centered side to side in the back. I was able to use the rocker panels, sill plates as my estimates. Now, front to rear is a little bit more difficult just because the cab is difficult to move because it's sitting kind of precariously there. And the frame, side to side is easy, but front to back, the whole thing, not quite so easy. But when the fenders were on here, I measured 15 inches from the firewall to the center of the wheel well on the fender. Now, when I measured the fender outside again, I got about an inch, or I got about 16 inches from the center of that bolt to the center of the wheel well, measuring outside a second time to verify. And you can see it's about an inch from the bolt hole to there, so I'm going to assume that my measurement's correct. Now, the reason I do all that is because I need to know where the cab is, and the cab always has to go in relation to the front wheel because we can't move this. We can shuffle the rear, we can do all kinds of things, but we want this proportional in relation to the cab. So I know that the frame is level, I know that the cab is level, and I have this level for extra level that we know is level because it's got a bubble, but it's centered up on the wheel well. So right now, let me get that to focus. There we go. About 14.5 inches. Now, I know that I need 15, which means we're a half an inch off, but this tire is also going to travel rearward. And I bet it's going to travel rearward about 3/4 of an inch, which means I need about 1.25 inches rear for the cab. The 1/2 inch that it's currently not enough, plus the 3/4 of an inch. Now, we make these holes a little bit big, so we do have a little bit of room for alignment because I've been through this before, and sometimes the frame's not straight or parallel, and sometimes the cab's not perfect, and sometimes we measure wrong, so we try to make sure, but looks like it's got to go about 1.25 inches back. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop a bolt through our body mount, which is right there, filled with crap. I'm going to drop a bolt through there. I'm going to mark that on the frame on both sides. Make sure that it's the same on both sides. And then I'm going to make mark 1.25 inches back. And that mark 1.25 inches back is where these will center up. Same in the rear where I'm going to put the body mounts, and that way once I've got these marked on the frame, I can simply tack them up, jack the cab up, set it down on top of these because that 1.25 inches will still land on here, and we can just slide it back once it's on the mount. So that's the game plan for right now. So I'm going to, tough to film, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a bolt, make a mark. I got to clean the frame, and we're going to get this cab mounted. So, made the mark on the top, checked on the other side. My mark, front to rear, see these holes, those 3 holes, we have those on both sides of the frame. It's about 1 5/16 from my mark to the center of that hole. So we're going to use the center of that hole as the center of the body mount. It's going to make alignment side to side really easy. So all I got to do is clean that off. I don't need to worry about my marks. I can center them up on that, tack that, that one's good. And I just need to get this off, which I'm not sure how it's stuck. Those look like factory bushings, and that channel just looks rammed over it. But I gave up trying to pry it. And I can't really get at the bolts because, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to cut the bolts from the top, and then I can make my rears work here. How am I going to? So, got these mounts up here. Let's see if we can show you. The bolt lines up to center. Obviously, it's not going through. The mount's kind of where it needs to be, centered up on that bolt hole. But the problem right now is that, obviously, body's a hair too low for this to squeak in. Now, the fenders come 5.5 inches below this. So, we're figuring 5.5 inches below this currently, or right below this. 5.5 below that. Right now, the distance from here to here is 5 inches. So if we have a little bit of rubber, we could use a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever. We've got a little bit of room to gauge our height so that the fenders touch the ground at the same time as the frame, which is the goal, and then we can build running boards, because I don't think he has any. But the 5 inches here, we don't want a huge body mount, but yeah, we want a little bit of room to tune it in. So that's why they're built this height. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jack up the front, lower the jack stands, and that way I can tack those mounts up. And then I'm going to slide this frame backwards a little bit, I think. Line it up with the cab, get the bolts through the front body mounts, make sure they stay centered, and then I can get on the back, because then I can level out the cab to the frame. So this one's kind of a long, involved, showing you every step of the process, but that's where we're at today. No ground.
Winning?
Oh yeah.
Right.
All day, every day. Oh. Wow.
Fuck, you nailed it?
Huh?
Fuck, you nailed it?
No. I pushed it 1.25 the wrong way.
Whoops. Back the other way.
I'm like, all I gotta do is move it back 1 5/16", and I'm mint. Except it's the cab that has to go back. Now help me roll this tire.
Oh. Yeah. Forward?
Forward.
Ooh, this one's tough.
Of course it is.
Nope.
Alright,
Hang on. Just gotta skid it.
yeah, okay. It's, yeah, it needs about 2.5 inches.
Ready?
Yeah. Hold on, let me check. A little bit more here. Pop your door open. You throw that bolt through the hole. It should go in. Yeah, we need another, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch forward.
Okay.
Ish. It's not much. Ah, that'll do. I'm good there.
Yep, fuck yeah. Sweet.
So there we go. This cab is up on mounts. Now, front mounts are pretty straightforward. They go up through the factory original cross member, the factory mounts. I'm just going to bolt thrown through there for right now. The rear mounts go close to where the factory ones were. Factory ones actually stuck out a little bit more. Punched a hole, added a plate that went across there. I'll add a tube that'll box that in so it can't be crushed as well. And then, yeah, plate across there. I'll put a tube in later, but for right now, these all line up. These are welded to the frame, or tack welded to the frame. So you got a mount over there, got a mount over there. Yeah, this is holding itself up. And this was the original mount. I assume that was the factory original mount. It's basically a leaf spring eye. And this is a piece of channel that's been wedged over top of the bushing. For the life of me, I couldn't get this off. I actually thought it might have been welded. But yeah, this would have been the original mounts to the frame on the 54 frame. So I ended up just, it had bolts that came up. I couldn't get it. They were threaded into a plate and that was spot welded to the floor. I just cut the whole plate off and air hammered all the bits out. So this is gone, and yeah. And I mean, inside it's just factory hole there. And here we'll end up putting a weld washer there, but yeah, even like that. We got a little rust repair to do. There's some extra body in the back there, but he wants to fix this up. So I guess what are we doing with this? Now, you can see small block Chevy motor mounts welded in. Now, my understanding is this had an LS in it that got pulled out to go into a Chevelle, but now the Chevelle's gone. He's gonna finish this up and put another nasty LS in it. Now, the reason we're making sure that this body doesn't go below the frame is that this is gonna end up on the ground, frame on the ground. We don't want to eat the fenders or side step running boards. And so that means probably control arms up front, air ride. Out back, he wants to do something cool. He's going to let us wild. And if you go back through my old videos, my frame for my little rat rod, it almost looks mandrel bent. Instead of just doing like a box tube notch, I wanted to do another one for a while. Sounds like that might be the plan, or we're going to work on it. Yeah, do a big bridge notch. Something cool that flows, 4-link suspension, airbag. We've got the front clip outside. He's got another truck for parts. He's got a bed. He's missing a few odds and ends, but he's got most of a truck. It's actually in pretty good shape. So, yeah, this week's been kind of a mess, but I didn't want to leave without getting the bed mounted, or the cab. There we go. I wanted to get the cab mounted before I left. So here's the thing, if you enjoy the video, even though I usually try to get way more done in a video, this was, yeah. If you enjoy it, like it, share it, drop me a comment down below. If you enjoy the channel and you want to keep up on this build and anything else that we're building, follow the channel, click the alert bell. If you're on a mobile device, click the hype button. It really helps me out. YouTube's starting to be good to me, and there's some cool things coming. Do the whole YouTube thing though. I love talking to you guys. I like interacting. I got some time over the next couple of weeks. I'm actually going to be home for 2 full weeks for the first time in, I honestly can't remember. But that means next weekend you get to see an update on some of my stuff, my tools, my vehicles as I clean up my yard and get back into my stuff. It's coming up. I promise. I haven't abandoned my cars. I'm just working really hard right now. So thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.